legendary bodybuilder from the 70s and 80s, winner of Mr. America, Mr. Universe, and the Mr. Olympia. Mike was what we call a true pioneer in the world of fitness and bodybuilding. He worked with hundreds of clients, and together with the legendary Arthur Jones, they gathered a ton of valuable knowledge that changed the way people thought about training. Mike proved time and time again that his logical theories weren't just theories, they were facts, confirmed by science decades later. But despite being a genius and rocking an incredible mustache, this is what caught my attention.
The more intensely you do something, whenever the intensity increases a little bit, the duration has to decrease a lot. And if you want to build big muscles fast, then you've got to train as intensely as possible. But that is the one factor most responsible for building mass.
The point here is that many bodybuilders have lodged in their subconscious the mistaken notion that bodybuilding exercise involves an endurance component, which it does not. Bodybuilding, as I stated earlier, has little or nothing to do with endurance. Many bodybuilders today still seem to be operating on the notion that their purpose is to go into the gym to see how many sets they can do or discover how long they can endure. Your actual, literal purpose as a bodybuilder is to go into the gym and intelligently do what nature requires to trigger the growth mechanism into motion, then get the hell out, go home, rest, and grow.
The nature of the experiment was intended to find out how rapidly individuals could gain muscle in a high-intensity training program. Well, since Casey was the most famous, we'll talk about Casey, and also because his results were the most outstanding. On May 1st, 1973, Casey weighed 166 pounds. I'm not trying to mislead you, this was an underweight condition for Casey. When he won the Mr. America, he weighed around 212 to 215. In 4 weeks, training 30 minutes a day, 3 days a week, in 1 month, exactly 28 days, Casey gained what demonstrably seems to be 46 pounds.
Heavy duty is a method of training that focuses solely on extremely high intensity combined with the adequate amount of recovery. Let me break it down for you. Sorry about that, guys. So first off, I'm gonna go quickly around the core principles of heavy duty training, and then I will break it down even further, alright? And not in that way. So what is the core principles of heavy duty training? First off, we have 1 to 2 sets on every major muscle group. Second point is of course extremely high intensity, meaning you train to absolute failure, just like me. And the third point is adequate recovery. So 1 to 2 rest days between every workout and even more rest days between every muscle group. That's the basic core principles. So now we'll go more into depth on each point, and then we'll all be some heavy duty fucking machines, alright? Why do we do such low volume? The longer you train, the less intense your workouts become. And when you think about it, why do we always do 3 sets of 10 reps? Who came up with it? Would it make more sense to start with the lowest amount of volume that gives you the most results and then find a sweet spot from there? I think so, and Mike thought so. And what Mike found out was that the less volume we did, the more intense the workouts became. The more intense the workouts became, the more muscle growth they saw, and the more muscle growth they saw, the more recovery needed. And from personal experience and from people that I have trained, I would say that that checks out pretty good. Moving on to intensity. Most of us lifters has no idea what the fuck true failure actually is. And I think the reason for stopping our sets too early, subconsciously, is because we simply train too long. When your workout turns into a marathon instead of a sprint, you naturally hold back, right? So let me show you what I mean in a fucking theoretical world here. We have to differ between true muscle failure and true technical failure. If your junk points to the ceiling to get the curl up, you can stop, alright? Hopefully you stop before that point. So when I say go to failure, I don't mean fucking swing around like a jump rope. I mean the biceps can't lift the weight. Then you're done, right? If you're doing a set of bench press and you don't feel it in your chest, you're either doing it wrong, you're lifting too heavy, or frankly, you're fucking retarded. And I'm gonna add a side note to this point, because injuries. I've noticed, and a lot of other people noticed, that when they do this program, injuries is fucking off the table. It never happens. And I think one of the reasons is that especially intermediate lifters, they can tolerate a higher degree of intensity for a longer duration of time. To use another marathon and sprint analogy, I would say that they basically try to sprint a marathon. And what happens when you sprint a marathon? First of all, you're gonna fucking lose. And second of all, you're probably gonna get injured. So if you go full force...
Ah! Fuck! Dude! Fucking stop doing full force!
For fucking 2 hours in the gym, and you do that for 5 days a week and a couple of years, you're probably gonna end up in Snap City, right? And that's a perfect segue to our next point, which is recovery. When do we actually build muscle? It's not in the fucking gym. It's when you're done at the gym. Your only purpose in a gym is to stimulate muscle growth and then get the fuck out of there and rest, recover and grow. And another point is, of course, training like this isn't just gonna stress your muscles, joints, it's also going to stress your nervous system. So if you were going to squat like fucking hell on Monday to extreme measures beyond failure, your body is still in recovery mode on Tuesday when you're going to do a bench PR. So what is the solution? You take 1 of 2 days off, then you go back in the gym and hit your bench press. And another cool thing I've actually noticed is that deloads and deload weeks become almost unnecessary because you get the adequate amount of recovery. And I've been training for this style for a couple of years now, actually, especially in the last 2 months. I've also been on a cut, so I've been eating in a calorie deficit, and the strength just keeps fucking going up. Especially for someone like me who struggles to stay away from the gym, it's fucking perfect because now I don't have to go for every 8 weeks and fucking half-ass some bullshit. I can just go to complete failure, progress on my lifts, and don't worry about it. On that same note, I would say that of course you are less in the gym training like this because you would probably be in the gym for 3 to 4 times a week instead of a lot of us train for 5 or 6 days a week. You know, sometimes when you go to the gym, you've been working out for a long time, and sometimes just the music doesn't feel so good, you don't feel that strong, you feel fatigued, right? But training on this style, you're always so fucking pumped to get in the gym. Even though you're being there for a shorter time or less days in a week, it still feels so much more fun because the workouts are so simple and so effective that you never had a bad workout. Of course, you have it sometimes, but you get what I mean. Now I'm going to end off with the programs, the free programs that I'm going to give you guys. A few years ago I made this exact same video, but I spoke in Norwegian. Now on this channel I have switched over to speaking mainly English. So these programs are basically just a refined, updated, upgraded even version of the first one I wrote a couple of years ago. The first program is called Heavy Duty 2.0, and this program is mainly focused on muscle building, muscle growth, and I will give you another tip, which is to just copy the program and paste it into your notes, and from there you can write down the weights, the reps, everything, how you feel that day, because that's also one of the most important things to do, is that you track your lifts so you can make sure that you progressively overload over time. And the second program is called Heavy Duty 2.0 Calisthenics Edition. That's what I'm currently following. I've told myself to learn a single arm pull-up and a handstand push-up for fucking, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now, but I've never done it. So I made this program combined with the Mike Mentzer style of training so I can lock in and fucking learn these things, right? You can expect the same amount of muscle growth because we still have the core principles and we have the bodybuilding movements, but it's just a little bit tweaked. So we learned the one arm pull-up and the handstand push-up. If you guys have any questions about the programs, you can just ask them in the comments below, or you can shoot me a personal message on Instagram. That's completely fine, but no dick pics, alright? And yeah, that's basically it. So as I said earlier, this channel is now mainly English, so if you understand my English, it will hopefully get better as we move on to the future. But if you can understand it, then subscribe. And yeah, see you next time.
The important point to remember here is that you will grow progressively larger and stronger muscles only when you train with increasing levels of intensity. This is universal and applies to all human beings. In order to train as hard as possible, you must retain a clear image of your purpose. Once your goal is sharply but realistically defined, all that remains is carrying out your plan. Don't, however, worry about your individual potential. Potential is only the expression of a possibility, something that can be assessed accurately only in retrospect. In other words, You'll never know how good you might have become unless you try.
I wanna heal, I wanna feel what I thought was never real. I wanna let go of the pain I felt so long. Erase all the pain till it's gone. I wanna heal, I wanna feel like I'm close to something real. I wanna find something I wanted all along, somewhere I belong.
Macho Tornado!